Hey guys, we are back with some more Seattle franchise mode, and we are not in the playoffs anymore. We got kicked out in round number one versus Arizona in game 7 overtime, so that was very unfortunate. And I don't believe I went through these stats in the last video because I ended it right after game 7 ended. So let's check out the stats here. Philip Zadina was really one of the only ones who showed up in those playoffs. 6 points. Joe Pavelski as well, 3 goals, 4 points. And the other one who really showed up was Jonas Corposalo, 941 save percentage. He kept us in those 7 games, so no complaints there. But in terms of forwards, I mean, Kreider, Toffoli, Fawcett, like, they did all right as well. Like, we got a little bit of depth scoring. Just, we didn't get timely scoring is what we really needed, and we didn't get too much help from our defensive core either. And as we take a look over here, not at shots, but at giveaways, take a look at the giveaway to takeaway ratio. Jonas Brodin's right up there at the top, unfortunately. 9 giveaways, 0 takeaways. So that was a very rough defensive pairing this year, to say the least, in Brodin and Boychuk. I'm not quite sure why that is, because if you take a look at the past, I mean, even this year right here, 2020, Brodin had 6 takeaways, 6 giveaways, 13 hits, and he had less ice time as well. So, I mean, it's clearly worked in the past. It just did not, this defensive pairing just did not, for some reason, work this year. I don't know if it was the increased ice time for both of them, but the thing is about Brodin, he had 25 minutes of ice time when we were bad, like here around 2019, 2018, around there. And if you take a look at his giveaways and takeaways, it's really not that bad at all, especially here in 2019. So I don't know why, and it's not like Brodin decreased physically either, because he has like 145 hits here, 139, so he's clearly a physical player, just not this season for some reason. He's a little bit off, so I'm not sure whether we should, let me know, should we give Captain Brodin another chance this year? Because I feel like he still has it in him. I gotta be honest, because again, you look at his past stats and they're really not bad at all. Right? Especially from the simulation. This year right here was the first year we made the playoffs. 6 giveaways, 6 takeaways though, 13 hits. And then you take a look at these 3 or even 4 past years, he really wasn't half shabby when we were a terrible team, keep in mind. So I feel like I want to give him another chance, but that'll be up to you guys. What should we do with Jonas Brodin? Right? Should we give him another chance as the captain? Or should we move on? Now, I'm fine with the rest of our defensive core, honestly, because if you take a look at Tanev, now he gives away the puck a little bit as well. 7 giveaways in the playoffs, 75 giveaways in the regular season. But the thing with Tanev is he's very physical. He is that perfect counterpart for Derek Pouliot, who, I mean, what more can be said about him? He has quite the offensive touch on this team, and he got a significant decrease in ice time this year. Only 1946 of ice time compared to 2531 last year, and he had more points this year than last year. So whatever Pouliot and Tanev have going, it's clearly working, so I don't think I want to split up that pairing. And then Nathan Beaulieu, he was just fine with Timothy Liljegren this year. He had 15 minutes of ice time, roughly 16 minutes of ice time in the playoffs. 14 hits, but when you take a look at the regular season, 138 hits, not too bad of a giveaway to takeaway ratio, actually a really good giveaway to takeaway ratio, so really nothing to complain about there. He was a +7, so, and then you take a look at Liljegren, who had a pretty solid year himself, 39 points, and he doesn't give away the puck too often as an offensive defenseman, so that's really good. So there's not really much that we can do in terms of this defensive core besides Brodin. So, again, what do you think we should do with Brodin, guys? Let me know. All right, so now as we take a look at forwards, obviously Philip Zadina. Now, I was not impressed with Jake Gensel. Only 2 points on the playoffs. Only 24 points, I believe, total in the regular season. and 14 of those came from the power play. So 10 points, even strength-wise, on the line with Filip Zadina and Joe Pavelski. And even Joe Pavelski, I believe, had more 5-on-5 points, or even total points, than Jake Gensel had 5-on-5. So as we take a look at... Where is Pavelski? Right up here. So, yeah, he had 36 points. Only 9 of them were on the power play. So, Pavelski had almost as many power play points as Gensel had even strength. So, it's not like Pavelski or Zadina were holding Gensel back in any way. It was more Gensel holding back Zadina and Pavelski. So I would say he's on his way out this year. He's asking for a contract. It's going to be north of $5 million. So especially with Stuart DeSilva and Ryan Mowers coming up next year, we got to make 2 spots on the roster. I want to keep Lawton. I don't know much about... I'm not sure about Hardigan. I know I want to bring Danault back. I know that I want to bring all these guys up here back. So really, when it comes down to it, Gensel does not, Gensel does not have a spot on this team anymore in my mind. And then obviously Korpisalo did just fine in the playoffs, so he's not going anywhere. So we'll go into free agency. We'll go into the draft here. But before we move on, let's take a look at the team stats for the playoffs. I'm very interested to see what our power play percentage was and really everything else. So we'll take a look at the goals for here. Yeah, 1.71 in 7 games. Really not good at all. Goals against per game was solid. So it was a very defensive series. We know that much. But as we take a look at power play, oh my goodness. We had the most power play opportunities in the entire playoffs out of any of these teams. We had 28 power play opportunities, 1 goal. 3.6 power play success rate. That is... that's mind-boggling. That is honestly mind-boggling. Power play, you should be ashamed of yourselves. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. I mean, at least the penalty kill was solid. 90.5, but... Oh my goodness. 3.6%. That's shameful. that's really bad. We have to definitely improve on that for next season. So let's, I guess, simulate up to the draft, because there's not much to go over at this point. We'll go over the playoffs and the awards and everything before the draft. So let's skip ahead. And the Stanley Cup champions are the Edmonton Oilers. It's about time. And the College Cup champions are the Binghamton Devils. So as we take a look here, here's the scout. So we'll send him out one more time. Sure, U.S. defenseman, 3 weeks. Doesn't matter too much at this point. Not like there's too much hockey being played anyway in June. So, draft. We do not have a lottery selection, which is obvious. it was obvious no matter what. I don't think we made any trades. And Henrik Sedin has retired, but the good news is that Joe Pavelski is still in the NHL, and Micah Smith has retired as well. So he might be a good third-line center next year, as we are moving up guys like Danny Henrich and maybe even Ryan Mowers. Maybe Pavelski is on the 4th line or something. So Joe Thornton, both Sedins have retired, and that's actually pretty similar point totals, 1203 and 1217. So, and then of course Daniel Sedin retired on Vancouver. I should have traded Henrik Sedin to Vancouver at the trade deadline, but whatever. Jason Spezza, Ryan Getzlaff, Rick Nash, Mike Camilleri, Ryan Kessler, Ryan Suter, Franz Nielsen, Brandon Dubinsky, Tyler Bozak, Ryan Callahan, and Horton. And that is about it for that. Johnny Boychuk's retired as well, so now our Boychuk's the only, well, I don't know about the only Boychuk, but definitely the Beastly Boy Chuck, I should say. So Henrik Lundqvist has also retired. Marc-Andre Fleury has also retired. 72 overall. God, he took a hit. Antti Niemi, Mike Smith, obviously, and everyone down here. So that'll be it for retirements. As I said, that'll be it for retirements. Please, game. Thank you. All right, so we're 1 day away from the draft. Now let us, we'll go up to there, and then we will visit the view draft class, just so we could get a preview of what we're working with here. So I already have a few players pinned, but I have a couple of them scouted. It's just, a couple goaltenders. So let's take a look who is going top 5. Howes, Wright, Morrissey, Chen, and Burkholz. And then you got Tham, Hummel, Rene Lewis, who I have pinned, but I'm not expecting to get. Retzer, Abraham Penner, looks pretty solid, defensive defenseman. Toivonen, LaPierre, Franzen, Smith-Pelly, Gennin, Brzgalov, Hardigan, David Hardigan, Belanger, Calico, Roloff, AJ Kane, another goaltender we pinned. Visakis, Robinson, Visakis, Vladislav Martinek, Ivan Novoseltsev. That name looks familiar. Ivan Novoseltsev. Was that like a name we had in Halifax or something? Carpenter, Burish. Okay, so let's sort by potential, see if we can find any gems here. Maybe Philip Burrows get I doubt a Jake Fawcett kind of situation, but you never know. We'll keep an eye out for him. Aaron Rourke. Oh, he looks pretty good. Actually, yeah, he looks pretty... That might be a solid late round pickup if we could get him. So you know what? I will unpin Burrows and I'll pin Rourke. Now, Capaduca, I believe that is. I'm just looking for any studs that would, like, late round studs that we could get, like Jake Fawcett. Burkholz, he was top 5. Calico, all right. So it looks like there's not too many of those this year. We could probably get lucky with Aaron Rourke, but looks to be about it. But, I mean, that's fine. I mean, if we get Aaron Rourke and he's a solid, 75 overall, I'm not complaining. So let's move on to the draft here, as there's not too many trades I don't think that we need to make, as Jake Gansel's contract is expiring, and that's the only trade I would really want to make. So let's go ahead with the draft, see who Anaheim picks with the first overall pick. And they're going to choose the 60... we're in the second... Oh, we don't have a fourth. We didn't have a first, so... Oh, you know what? That guy might have... Did he go? Did he go? What's his name again? What was his name? I'll know it if I see it. Girardi, Hargrave. I don't think he was taken. We might have gotten lucky there. I think, I don't know. I think he was taken. He might have been taken in the first. Let's see. Morrison taken great. Yeah, he was taken. Rats. All right. So, yeah, Morris, I mean, he looks solid too. He's got some green 80s. Oh, you know what? Trevor Morris. Let's take him. I don't want to miss out on him. All right, 68, top 6. I will take that. Let's see if that guy went in the first round. I would imagine he did, because I didn't see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The game recognized Aaron Rourke. The game recognized he shouldn't be going in the second round or whatever he was projected to go in, and he went to Winnipeg at pick number 10, medium elite, 72 overall. He would have been nice to get, but yeah, obviously one of the other Winnipeg had him scouted out pretty well as well, so I guess they didn't want to miss out on him. So good on Winnipeg for recognizing that. So let's get to the next round. I mean, if we have a third round pick, decline trade. Yes, we do. All right. That's good to know. All right. So as we are in the third round now, I think I might take a chance on Burrows here. I know it's not guaranteed to be an elite, but I don't really see too many better options. I mean, there's this guy Tangrady, who's an exact top 6, but he's undrafted, so I may as well wait on him. And as we take a look at projected, not too many studs up here per se, so we may as well go with the high elite in Philip Burrows. Take a chance. Let's see, low top 6. All right, so not too great there, but whatever. This wasn't really too important of a draft here anyway. We're just really drafting for value as of right now. We'll take Tangrady. Low top 6, 61. All right, not too bad. 2 5th-round picks in a row here. We'll take Brunstrom. We scouted him a couple times. 7th defenseman. All right, so we're really not getting too good of a draft here. We'll take a chance on Hudinen. 7th defenseman. All right, I'm just gonna skip through the rest of this. It's clearly, yeah, it's just a bad draft. So, yep, it was that kind of draft. It's just not too much going on for this there besides Morris and Tangrady, so decided to skip through the rest of it, and we are going to the re-sign stage now, so that is always fun. Let's get to it, as I believe, yeah, we have to re-sign Filip Zadina, Pete Boychuk, Brandon Lopp, and all that group of rookies, so, you know, hopefully we could get them re-signed and for a pretty good price. So, yeah, Boychuk and Zadina do need to be re-signed. And Zadina is finally an 87, so that's good to know that his statistical growth seems to have worn off, I should say. So let's take a look at the UFAs first and release anyone who doesn't want to be here. Yeah, Wajimaki, release. I will, yeah, that appears to be it. So, RFAs, Zadina, Malkin, Lajoie we will sign. Holland, 2-way, yep, we will sign you. All right, now unsigned. Oh, they're in, yeah, they're in UFAs. So we would have had to sign them no matter what this year. But Ryan Mower's 83 overall, 3rd-line scorer. As you take a look at that defensive category and really just everything else. So, Ryan Mowers, we will sign you. There you go. Stuart De Silva, 3rd-line scorer, 89 offensive awareness. We will sign you. There you go. Now, Kulikov, if I could sign for cheap, no. Releasing you. Hansen, if you want a 2-way, yep. Mahler, 2-way, yep. And then Pavelski, want to bring him back. 1 year at, let's say, 3.5. Mowers we already did. Dano, I think I want to bring back. Yep. So offer, let's go for, what are the amount of years we have left on guys like, let's say, Nuge? 2 more. Okay, so we'll go 2 years. That'll be the magic numbers. 2 years for any guy who we want to keep that's a veteran. So Philip Dano, 2 years at, let's say, 3.1. And then Jacobs, Kennons, I don't need these guys. Don't need you. Don't need you. Already got all those guys. So now it's just down to Gensel, who we are going to be releasing. He is down to a 3rd-line scorer, 81 overall. Really just not impressed with this season overall from him. So, Gensel, you had a good run, man, but this was not your year, and this was not the year to be underachieving because we have 2 rookies coming in, and Gensel, it's safe to say, made my decision pretty easy there. Now, Boychuk, let's do RFAs now. So, Zadina and Boychuk, I want to get those guys done first. So they want 3 year. Well, Boychuk wants 3 years. What does Zadina want? Zadina wants 4 at 7.7. Ooh. All right. So Zadina's already asking for big money, and I mean, as is Boychuk. So, and for some reason, Boychuk has dropped down to a top 4, which is a little concerning. But hopefully, he'll jump a little bit more over the offseason. So as we try to figure out how long to sign him for. I guess we'll sign him for another 2 years because that'll let us. He'll still be an RFA, and then we can sign him for his big boy contract, like 8 years. So Zadina has already been in the NHL, or well, at the pro level for 4 years, meaning he's already been on another contract. So what I think I'll do for Zadina, how many years are left? 5? We'll go 6. Oh man. If we give Zadina 8 years, he wants 11.2. Not doing that. We'll go, oh man. That's steep. That is steep. But you know what? As an 87 overall and 22 years of age, he might be worth it. So we'll go 6 years for, this is a lot of money. 6 years for 8.9. It's still a lot, but you know what? If it means keeping Zadina, who showed a lot of improvement for the rest of the GM mode, I'm alright with it. As long as he keeps producing the way he has. I mean, 48 points. Well, obviously, I would want him to get more than 48 points on the first line, but he's a proven playoff performer here with 6 points in 7 games. So now we move on to Pete Boychuk, and we may, you know what, we may as well get him on the same kind of deal. If we give him 8 years, he only wants 6.9, so I might have to give him that. Yeah. But no, we'll stick with the 6 years here. We'll go for $6 million for 6 years for Pete Boychuk. As Chuck Hardigan, fourth liner, what did he do last year? 20 points, 13 goals, 147 shots on the fourth line, 24 hits. I'm gonna cut him for now. We could always go back and re-sign him, but I'm going to cut him for now just because we have so many, well, not so many, but we have 2 big prospects in Mowers and De Silva coming up this year, and we had to make those 2 roster spots available. So Liljegren, now he had a pretty good year last year. I think he's a consistent 40-point scorer here, so I do want to give him a long-term deal here at, we'll go for the standard, well, we're saving a lot of money if we don't go 6. So, will he still be an RFA in 2 years? Probably no, he won't, because that'll be 7 years of service in the pros. So we'll go somewhere in between. We'll go 4 years for, let's say 4.25. Hopefully he accepts that. And then Yuri Malkin, I mean, no, I gotta release him. I don't want him on a one-way deal. There's not a spot for him, so we're just gonna release him. So that'll be it for RFA skaters. Now Brandon Lopp, yeah, sure, I'm fine with that. Gogolev, release. That looks to be good. That looks to be it. All right, let's back out and see who accepts. All right, advanced day. Let's see who signs. Dano. De Silva accepted, Pavelski accepted, Boychuk accepted, Mowers accepted, Mahler rejected, Lajoie accepted, Alland accepted, Hansen accepted, Liljegren accepted, Zadina accepted, Lopp accepted. Very nice. So only Mahler, I believe, rejected, and I don't have a problem releasing him to free agency at the moment. We'll just we will just get him back, and that should be it. We still have 15.1 remaining in cap to work with. Now, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to unload Ryan Nugent-Hopkins next year after, because we're gonna have to sign Mowers and De Silva and Henrich and Crab and oh man, we have so many big contracts to hand out in the next couple of years. Right here, Henrich, Crab, Fawcett, and then the year after that, Mowers and De Silva. That is gonna be rough. We're gonna have to get rid of guys like Toffoli, Nuge, Beaulieu, probably, right? So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. All right, so yep, that appears to be it. We'll just double check here. UFAs none, goalies none, RFAs. All right, we're good. let's move on to free agency. All right, here we go. July 1st. Let's see who is in free agency for the year number 5 free agency. So Max Pacioretty, Nick Leddy, Tyson Barrie, Jordan Schmaltz, I believe. Yes, Jordan Schmaltz. Wayne Simmons, Chris Bigra, Jonathan Marchessault, Riley Smith, Eric Holla. Looks like Vegas had a pretty big unloading there of those 3 guys at the very least. Jeff Carter, Christian Fisher, Marco Scandella. Yep. Jake Gensel, obviously. We're not going to probably be going after. Honestly, I don't think we need any forwards because we have those 2 prospects coming in, and we have Rob Bruce, 79 overall, 19 years of age. This is like a Serge Plus situation in San Jose. Oh man, we might have to sign him. He's a good defensive prospect, a good cheap defensive prospect, I might add. So we'll try to get him. Now, Henrik Edler, 73 overall, 19 years of age. That's another solid one we could go after. And I think we'll leave the rest of the prospects for the other teams here. But there's two pretty solid depth prospects that we can get for the future, really. And for potentially even for this season, at least for Bruce, if he ends up signing. So let's go after our prospect goaltender here. We'll go after Watt. Sure. Now, we don't need goaltenders. We have Lop and Korpisalo. We don't need forwards, as far as I'm concerned. We really just have to, I guess, figure out what's going on with that defensive pair of Brodin and Boychuk. What do we do about that? So goaltenders, yep, 1, 2. And then in the system, Vorobov, we have 3. We're fine. Defensemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good. So we just have to figure out what's going on there. And then forwards, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, we're good. So we really, again, just need to figure out what's going on there. Do we trade Brodin? Do we shift him to the top 4 and then maybe move up Pouliot? Something like that? Let me know, because there's not much changing around to do here. As far as I'm concerned, right? We have our top 6 pretty much set in Crab, who is now a first-line forward, Henrich, who is now, close to a first-line forward. I would guess will grow into a first-line forward over the offseason. And then Philip Zadina, who's an 87 overall. And then you got Fawcett, Nuge, Toffoli. There's your top 6 right there. And then third line, you got Kreider, Mowers, and probably De Silva. And then you have on the fourth line, Pavelski, Deneau, and Lawton, right? That's perfect. So, I mean, at least if this was last year, that'd be perfect. So, but what we really, again, just have to figure out is what do we do about Jonas Brodin, the pair of Jonas Brodin and Pete Boychuk? We're obviously not moving Pete Boychuk, right? He's staying forever, most likely, because he had a breakout year last year, 51 points, and he's a little too essential to this team to move him. So what do we do? You know, and I don't want to break up Tanev and Pouliot, and I don't want to break up Beaulieu and Liljegren. Those 2 pairs did just fine last year. It was really about that top pair that we have to figure out. So, and then obviously Korpisalo, he was solid in the playoffs, 941 save percentage. So I don't want to move Korpisalo. So there's not really much that we need to do in this offseason besides, well, you already know. I've said it 5 times. So let me know, what should we do? And I'll see you guys in the next one.